Welcome to the Narrative Arc, where we explore the stories that shape our world. Today, we will be discussing one of the most beloved and inspiring books of all time, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The Alchemist, a captivating and timeless tale of self-discovery, perseverance, and following one's dreams. Originally published in 1988, this novel has inspired millions of readers around the world with its poetic prose and deep philosophical themes. Through the journey of Santiago, a shepherd boy who leaves his home in search of a hidden treasure, readers are transported to a world of magic, wisdom, and wonder. Along the way, Santiago encounters a variety of characters who teach him valuable lessons about the universe and the power of the human spirit. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of The Alchemist and uncover the narrative arc that makes this book such a masterpiece. Once upon a time, in a small village in Andalusia, Spain, there lived a young shepherd boy named Santiago. He had a simple life, tending to his sheep in the fields, day after day. However, he had a dream that had been recurring for several nights, and it left him feeling restless and unsatisfied with his current existence. In his dream, he saw a child telling him about a treasure that lay hidden in the Egyptian pyramids. Although he didn't understand the meaning of his dream, Santiago believed that it held great significance and decided to seek the treasure. One day, while he was tending his sheep, Santiago met a gypsy woman who claimed to be able to interpret dreams. He told her about his recurring dream, and she advised him to follow his heart's desire and pursue his dream. Encouraged by the gypsy's words, Santiago decided to sell his sheep and use the money to travel to Tarifa, a port city in southern Spain. There, he hoped to find a ship that would take him across the Mediterranean Sea to Africa, from where he could journey to Egypt to seek his treasure. As Santiago made his way to Tarifa, he met a wise old man who claimed to be a king. The old man spoke to him about the importance of following one's personal legend and the obstacles one must face in order to achieve it. The old man also gave Santiago 2 stones, called Urim and Thummim, which he said would help him make important decisions on his journey. Santiago arrived in Tarifa and found a merchant ship that was heading to Tangiers. He managed to secure a place on the ship and set sail across the sea. However, he had no idea of the adventures and challenges that awaited him on his journey. And so, the young shepherd boy embarked on a journey of self-discovery and adventure, determined to follow his heart and fulfill his destiny, as he searched for the treasure that was calling out to him. As the ship sailed across the Mediterranean Sea, Santiago couldn't help but feel excited and anxious at the same time. He was leaving behind everything he had ever known and embarking on a journey that was both thrilling and daunting. When the ship reached Tangiers, Santiago was struck by the bustling city and the stark differences between the people and culture there compared to his hometown. He didn't know the language and was unsure of how to navigate the streets and markets of Tangiers. It was a completely new experience for him. As Santiago wandered the streets, he met a young man who spoke his language and offered to help him. The man took Santiago under his wing and showed him around the city, but his true intentions were not genuine. The young man was a thief and he tricked Santiago into giving him all his money, leaving him stranded and alone in Tangiers. Santiago felt defeated and lost. He had put all his trust in this man and now he was broke and without any resources. As he sat in the marketplace feeling sorry for himself, he remembered the 2 stones the old king had given him. He took them out of his pocket and asked them for guidance. The stones glowed and he knew that they were telling him to go to a nearby shop. There, he met a merchant who offered him a job in his crystal shop. Although it was the treasure he had come to find, Santiago realized that he needed to work and save up some money in order to continue his journey. The crystal merchant and Santiago developed a close relationship, and they often talked about their dreams and aspirations. The merchant had once dreamed of traveling the world, but he had given up on his dream and settled into a life of routine and predictability. Santiago, on the other hand, was still pursuing his dream and was determined to find his treasure. He encouraged the merchant to pursue his dream as well, but the merchant was content with his life as it was. Despite the merchant's resistance to change, Santiago continued to work hard in the shop and helped the merchant improve his business. He introduced new ideas and products, and soon the shop was thriving. As time passed, Santiago began to feel restless and wanted to continue his journey. However, he felt a sense of loyalty towards the merchant, who had become a friend and mentor to him. Santiago also realized that he had learned many valuable lessons from his time at the shop, and he was grateful for the experience. One day, as Santiago was looking at the crystal displays in the shop, he had a sudden realization. The crystal merchant had taught him something important, that sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. The merchant had taught him to appreciate the present moment and to find joy in the simple things in life. Santiago left the shop, grateful for the lessons he had learned and the experiences he had gained. He continued on his journey, more determined than ever to find his treasure and fulfill his personal legend. And so, Santiago left the crystal shop, leaving behind a friend and mentor who had taught him the importance of hard work, perseverance, and appreciating the journey, not just the destination. And so, the young shepherd boy continued on his journey, determined to persevere despite the obstacles and challenges that lay ahead. As Santiago continued his journey through the Sahara Desert, he encountered many challenges and obstacles, including dangerous tribes, sandstorms, and treacherous terrain. Despite these challenges, he persevered, driven by his desire to find his treasure and fulfill his personal legend. One night, as he was camping in the desert, Santiago had a vivid dream. In the dream, he saw a hidden treasure buried beneath a tree in the Egyptian pyramids. He was convinced that this was a sign from the universe, confirming that he was on the right path and that his treasure was within reach. Determined to fulfill his personal legend, Santiago continued on his journey, using the dream as a guiding light. Along the way, he met an Englishman who was also searching for the secret of alchemy. The two became friends and decided to travel together, sharing their knowledge and experiences. The Englishman was fascinated by the idea of alchemy, which he believed could transform lead into gold and give him ultimate power and wealth. Santiago, on the other hand, was more interested in the spiritual aspect of alchemy, which he believed could transform his soul and help him find his true purpose in life. As they traveled through the desert, the Englishman became increasingly obsessed with finding the alchemist who could teach him the secrets of alchemy. Santiago, however, was more focused on finding his treasure and fulfilling his personal legend. Finally, they arrived at an oasis where they met the alchemist, who was a wise and mysterious figure. The alchemist agreed to teach them the secrets of alchemy, but only if they were willing to undergo a series of tests and trials to prove their worth. Santiago was hesitant at first, but he realized that this was an important part of his journey. He agreed to the tests, knowing that they would be difficult and dangerous, but also knowing that they would lead him closer to his treasure and his personal legend. Santiago and the Englishman continued their journey through the desert, with the Englishman becoming more obsessed with alchemy with each passing day. He spent most of his time studying alchemical texts and seeking out knowledge from anyone who could teach him. Santiago, on the other hand, remained focused on his personal legend and the pursuit of his treasure. He learned many important lessons from the Englishman, but he also realized that his journey was unique and that he needed to trust his own instincts. One day, they arrived at a small village where they met a wise woman who offered them valuable insights into the nature of the universe and the power of the soul. She taught them that everything in the universe was connected and that they were all part of a larger spiritual plan. The Englishman was skeptical of the woman's teachings, but Santiago found them to be profound and transformative. He realized that his journey was not just about finding his treasure, but about discovering his true purpose in life and connecting with the world around him. As they continued their journey, the Englishman became increasingly desperate to find the alchemist who could teach him the secrets of alchemy. Santiago, however, realized that the true alchemy was within himself, and that he didn't need to rely on external knowledge to transform his soul and find his treasure. Finally, they arrived at the base of the Egyptian pyramids, where Santiago's treasure was supposedly buried. The Englishman was convinced that the alchemist was waiting for them at the top of the pyramid, but Santiago knew that the true treasure was within himself. He climbed to the top of the pyramid and discovered that the treasure was not gold or jewels, but a deep understanding of himself and the universe. He realized that the journey was the treasure, and that everything he had learned and experienced had brought him to this moment of realization. With a newfound sense of purpose and understanding, Santiago returned to the oasis where he had met the alchemist. There, he encountered the Englishman, who had failed in his search for the alchemist and had given up on his quest for alchemy. Santiago realized that the Englishman had missed the true meaning of the journey, which was not about finding external knowledge or power, but about discovering one's true purpose and connecting with the world around them. And so, Santiago left the oasis, grateful for the lessons he had learned and the experiences he had gained. He continued on his journey, more fulfilled and content than ever before, knowing that he had found his treasure and fulfilled his personal legend. After leaving the oasis, Santiago began his journey back home, feeling more content and fulfilled than ever before. Along the way, he reflected on the lessons he had learned, the challenges he had faced, and the experiences that had brought him closer to his true purpose in life. As he traveled, he encountered many people who were also searching for meaning and purpose in their lives. He shared his knowledge and experiences with them, helping them to see that the true treasure was within themselves and that they didn't need to search for it outside of themselves. One day, he arrived at a small village where he met a woman named Fatima, who was a desert nomad. They fell in love, and Santiago realized that she was an important part of his personal legend. However, he also realized that he needed to continue on his journey and fulfill his destiny before they could be together. Santiago left Fatima and continued his journey with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. He encountered many challenges and obstacles along the way, but he knew that each one was a part of his personal legend and that he needed to face them in order to fulfill his destiny. Finally, he arrived back home, where he found that his sheep had multiplied and he had become a wealthy man. However, he also realized that his true wealth came from the knowledge and experiences he had gained on his journey. He went to the place where he had first met the gypsy woman and the alchemist, and he realized that they had been a part of his journey all along. He thanked them for their guidance and for helping him to find his true purpose in life. Santiago decided to stay in his hometown and use his wealth to help others, sharing the lessons he had learned and helping people to fulfill their own personal legends. He also reunited with Fatima, realizing that she was an important part of his journey and that they were meant to be together. Is this the end of Santiago's journey to self-discovery and understanding what the dreams of treasure was all about? Join us in the next part to uncover if this was the end of Santiago's journey, or does fate has something else in mind. Fate has